I went to Western Illinois University in Macomb, Illinois. I got my bachelor's there. Working on my master's, I was able to take advantage of an educational experience in Mexico where I could earn college credit. There were about 45 on this bus. We're going through Arkansas and the southwest states heading to Mexico. To sleep, the bus would always go over a railroad track. So heading for the rundown section of town. And then Doug, who was the other African American, I would get off and they just stare at us like, because they were staying at the best hotels. And then at the restaurants, they would go into the main section, but then Doug and I had to go into the kitchen because they wouldn't serve us. We were having breakfast one morning in Mexico, and Doug and I and about 2 or 3 white students. One was white female, the other 2 were white males. And the bus driver came over and says, "You all can't eat together." Now, he was from Illinois, an employee of Western in a foreign country in Mexico. So, you know, people carry their hate beyond geography. You know, I knew it was wrong, but we didn't have role models. The civil rights movement was not there. But I could tell you when it hit me in the head, and that was when I met Dr. King, which got me started. I was his gopher. At the time, I worked for the YMCA, and I was assigned to pick up Dr. King and Coretta and the kids at the airport. And at that time, they had rented this rundown apartment on the west side of Chicago to demonstrate the need for affordable housing. But as I talked to him and listened to him, he just motivated me. I think I learned how to organize, to be deliberate. I was asked to lead the Chicago SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the only organization led by Dr. King during his life. And I had a chance to work with Al Raby and Al Sampson, C.T. Vivian, Ben Branch, and the great leaders of the civil rights movement in Chicago and across this nation. And my life has not been the same. We started a transportation system that ran down the Kennedy up to the northwest suburbs, taking black folks to apply for jobs. And I remember one time we took 3 bus loads up to a company. In those days, that was exciting. And so as we went inside of this building to apply for the job, all these people, anytime you saw a yellow bus with black folks, you know, folks that going to march or something. But no, we were going to apply for jobs. And at my tender age, and I know I look about 34, I may be repeating myself, but to this day, I believe that my message is preceded by my skin color. I remember in school in Georgetown, and not in Mississippi, not in Alabama, every morning stood, put my hand over my heart, I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America. And I couldn't eat at the store. I couldn't sit in the show. I could go to the bowling alley, but only to sip pins. In those days, you did it manually. But I could not bowl. But I kept singing the national anthem every day, school day. I pledge allegiance to the flag, blah, blah, blah. And if I didn't do it, I'd be ostracized, sent to the prison. I was required, all students, black or white. If I sound overly critical, it's only because I believe in what Dr. King said. He was the most loyal American that ever lived. Dr. King was. You know what Dr. King said? He said this. He said, look, If you didn't mean it, you shouldn't have put it in the Constitution, and you should not have put it in the Declaration of Independence, that all men are born equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable. Because you put it in writing, Founding Fathers, I'm going to make you live up to it.